Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. So today's one-a-day is anxiety or opportunity. You know what? You're going to have to make a decision, and it's going to become a split decision, okay? That means that you have to make that decision in 1 second, because if you don't make a decision that it's going to become an opportunity, it's going to be anxiety for you, because you're just going to run an old program that you've run a million times. I'd like to tell you a story this morning. I don't think there's anything more scarier than when your child gets hurt and they might die, or when somebody in your life is threatening suicide on a continual basis, okay? And then eventually they try suicide, they do it. Well, you know what? We all live through these traumas. That's what I lived through. And what I really came to realize is that my reaction was going to decide everything, whether I made the right decisions or I destroyed my body. And I'm going to tell you, I can tell you right now that 20 years ago, I was still addicted to the adrenaline rush, because I didn't know how to access the parasympathetic, where all beautiful things are created, and they're created in the present moment. You may not realize this, but I guarantee you that 95 to 98% of this North American population has been programmed to push the panic button or the anxiety button, not just once a day, but there was actually a study done, and we would push the panic button 3 times a month. Now we push that panic button 17 times a day. So, you know, I'll tell you right now, back then it was either, I wasn't going to kill myself, but the reality was I couldn't live like this anymore. I couldn't have people that I loved threatening me that they were going to take their life. And I really was tired, even when it came to drama and trauma in our family or in my life. I was really tired of overreacting. I think if you really become awake, you'll see, and you become aware, you see you're just destroying yourself. Now, I'll tell you one thing, that I do believe that the church that I went to when I was younger really passed that on to me. And the reality is I didn't realize that I really based my family and my life on the more I suffered for them or over them, the more I loved them, and I showed that I was either a good husband or a good father or a good friend or a good brother or a good son. And I'm going to tell you something. This is the greatest grand illusion, and this is what's destroying us today. You know, I mean, aren't you getting tired of scaring the living crap out of yourself? And aren't you getting tired of going into the media trough and getting your adrenaline hit? It really comes down to that. So I really want you to consider something, that it's all about peace and joy. And it's each moment creating that peace and joy. I want you to also see today, on a percentage, how much joy you actually felt. We do everything for joy. We do everything for happiness, because we can't live without love. And that's really all that's about, because we came here as total love. And the reality is if you don't change parts of your personality, that reality is never going to change for you. So you can have a reaction like you're doing right now, and everybody's doing, or you can really grow. So it's either anxiety or opportunity. So it's going to be reaction, or you're going to take a breath, or you're going to take at least 3 breaths and then take no action. Even if someone's freaking out and going, I want an answer right now. My God, don't you know what? You know, just go and just do it. Just take that moment and go, I don't have an answer for you right now. And you know what? I've got to stay calm. Because the last time that you broke something, or you broke yourself, or you destroyed your nervous system for days. So you have to understand something. You need a new story. So you've got to start telling a new story to yourself. You know, the difference between feeling successful and a failure is the story you tell. And how often are you willing to tell it? Are you willing to work it? Are you willing to really tell a new story? Are you willing to let go of everything that you hate? Because understand something. Right now, more than ever, the media plays us. And I'm not going to get into all the other stuff, but everything starts off as a rumor, then a story, then a habit, then a ritual, and then it becomes the family blessing or the family curse. And as far as I can see, a lot of families are pretty cursed because they don't feel blessed right now. And I do feel blessed right now. I feel that this is really a time for me to really grow and to put my emotions where my mouth is. You know, like really step up to the plate. You know, just don't talk it, walk it. And I think that's really important. You know, you have to understand something, that everything is a story. I don't care what story it is and how many people follow it and how many people think that it was designed only by the invisible, because man is a manipulator. Anything that man writes, he's got to screw around with. Everything's been screwed with. I don't know. You know what? I take everything with a grain of salt. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. You know, I'm going to tell you a story. So there was a little girl that was the mother, the grandmother, and the great-grandmother, and they were all there to have Sunday dinner. Okay? So the little girl's helping the mother, and what they did was they made this beautiful meatloaf. So then they took the meatloaf and they put it into the meatloaf pan. You know, it's got high sides. And the mother gets a knife and she starts cutting off the ends of the meatloaf. And the little girl goes, "Mommy, why do you cut the ends of the meatloaf off?" Because we're dealing with a little girl that isn't programmed. So she's still going to ask the question. And the mother goes, "You know what? I've been doing this all my life and I don't know. Let me ask your grandmother." "Mom, why do we cut the ends off the meatloaf?" "Oh my gosh, I'm not sure. Let me ask, okay, your great-grandmother." Okay, so then her mother asks her mother and says, "Why do we cut the meatloaf off the ends?" And you know what the answer was? "Well, back in those days, honey, we only had one pan. It wouldn't fit in the pan." So understand something. This is exactly you. And you can say it isn't. But I will tell you that, you know what? We're all rolling around in our own poo and we don't even know it. Okay? All right? We don't even know it, because if everybody else is rolling around in the poo, you know, did you ever notice you could go into a barn and after a few minutes you couldn't smell the manure, could you? You got used to it. Well, anyways, I'm not going to get used to adapting to things that take away my freedom, that take away my rights, and that does not allow me to have the greatest life ever. Let's just put it that way. So I know that if I want a new reality, I have to keep changing my personality. When's the last time you changed your personality? You know what people say, "Oh, he'll never change." Well, that's true, because people usually don't change. They just get tired, and then because they're so tired, they don't have enough energy, they're not miserable anymore, or they're not as miserable. "Well, how is he doing?" "Oh, you know, he's not like he used to be. You know, he's calmed down." Really? Did he calm down, or is he just worn out of energy? And that's usually what happens. Because you really got to get this, that you really want to change your personality, because if you're changing your personality each and every day, moment by moment, and taking a look, that little mini you, to try to really grow consciously, that's the only time you're ever going to have joy. Most people are just putting in time down here, and you know that as well as I do. And that's the shame. So what is it going to be? Anxiety or excitement? Because as soon as you start to feel anxious, if you were to grab your life band and go, "I got this," right away, understand something. If you go 3, 2, 1 even, and you don't even say "I got this," and you count backwards, your subconscious can't count backwards. That throws the thought right into the present moment. So now, guess what? If you would have left it there another second, you would have pushed the button that ran the whole anxiety program. And for some people, it'll be 3 hours, some 3 days, some 3 weeks. Listen, there's people that have so much guilt because they did something, because they were taught that by the church, or they were taught by their school, or they're taught by their parents that was wrong. You know, and there could be 10 families, they all do the same thing. And in each family, the punishment is different. Some it's a lifetime. Some it's, "Hey, Did you learn anything? The other one is, you know what? We're going to give you dirty looks and we're going to take things away and we're going to judge you. This is not a just society, okay? Don't tell me that there's justice out there. This is a judgment society, okay? All right? It truly is. Because when you come from total love, then you don't judge. You observe and you say, how can I make it? How can I make this better? That's the thing that we need to do. So it's got to be 3, 2, 1, I got this, count backwards. The military do this to keep themselves in the present moment. Because you got to stay in the present moment when you're in the military. You get your head blown off. You know, you can't be thinking about your wife and the kids at home. You can't be thinking about the future, about being back home or how good it was back in the past. You got to be right in the present moment. And that's the only place that you can create a masterpiece. All right? So you've got to take a look at it, because I'm going to tell you something right now. Whether you want to believe this or not, you are still a slave. You may not see bars around you, but you are a slave. You are a slave to your mind, and because it's a landmine, and that's what they've done to you. Understand something, and I want to say this right now. I want to read the symptoms for anxiety, okay? All right? Because you got to get this, all right? Okay, so increased heart rate. Do you know how many people are rushed to the hospital? It's like over 90% of the people that rush to the hospital, and all it was a panic attack, or I'd like to call it a fart attack, because that means the gas from your large intestine was rising and pushing on your heart. And that's most men today, because they overeat, they don't eat right. I mean, you can see, I mean, come on, if you were to put a little pin in their abdomen, in their tummy, you know, they would probably blow all over the place. They have so much gas inside them because they have their own private manure pile. So understand something, you know, and realize this or not, but you know what? The media know this and Big Pharma know this, that if they create anxiety, they can up their sales in drugs like crazy. But the reality is, whenever you're anxious, you never eat good food. I want you to check that out. I want you to look at the people around you. Nobody eats well when they're anxious. They eat processed foods, and they eat refined carbs, and they eat sugar. Everybody's looking to be stimulated. And because you're already in a sympathetic state, you're looking to even get more stimulated in that sympathetic state. So now you're going to make yourself even more acidic, right? Okay, so increased heart rate, rapid breathing. Well, doesn't that sound like people that are in fear? And rapid breathing, you'd think maybe you were getting sick, feeling tense all over. Oh my gosh, I think I'm getting the flu. No, you know, you're just tense all over. You know, you're stressing the living crap out of yourself. You're releasing all this adrenaline and cortisol and histamine, and it's actually crystallizing and contracting your tissue cells because it's stealing the oxygen and the minerals, and that's what it does. So it contracts, and what happens is your cells actually get thicker because they contract down, because every little individual cell now has anxiety, not just you. So 50 trillion cells are now having anxiety, and they will contract down on themselves, and then the outside of the cell actually gets a thicker layer, and now you're not absorbing your nutrition better, and you're getting cellular constipation. And guess what? Big Pharma and media know this. Okay, so how about trouble concentrating? Okay, how about sense of stress, distress, dread, or worry? How about intense general fear or worry all the time? Tell me people aren't experiencing that right now. Intense fear or worry about specific situations, or a person, or an activity. Feeling out of control, trembling, sweating, feeling tired and weak, gastrointestinal distress. Oh, my stomach is in knots. I feel sick to my stomach. I can't swallow this. Come on, you haven't heard that before? Trouble sweating, loss of increase in appetite, difficulty falling asleep. Like, that's not one, eh? Wow, most people can't fall asleep because they're worried and they want to figure out the problems that are none of their business. The most important thing you can ever do is to make sure you get a good night's sleep, because if you don't, you're not on your game, and that's when you're going to get screwed, okay? Feeling a disconnect between your body and your mind. Come on. Painful or worrisome thoughts or memories you are unable to control. Oh my gosh, the fear of the future, fear of the future. Oh, maybe I should have prepared better. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I can't believe this. Having difficulty controlling fear or worry. Urge or behaviors to avoid things that may trigger anxiety, nightmares, and then panic attacks. Welcome to the world that we have right now. If you're not going to be selfish enough to understand that you need to stay connected to your breath, keep a slight smile on your face, and just know and have faith in your Creator and believe in yourself, and know this, that if we had more people doing this, okay, because understand something, you can take this or leave it. But that whole upper echelon of authority that you voted in, everybody else I voted in, everybody voted in, okay? They're toxic. Most of them are bloody well psycho, right? Now you got to ask yourself, how in the heck did we vote this kind of a government? How in the heck do we have corporations that they call themselves a food industry and they're poisoning our children? You think about that. So the reality is that we've got to bring up our own personal vibration. We've got to really clean up our own act first before it's going to happen out there. And that's the God's truth. So the invisible creates the invisible. So you're either at ease or you have a disease or you're creating a disease. All right? So look at this. You can lose yourself today or you can find yourself and expand. And if you're finding yourself, that means you're staying calm in the midst of crisis. The mind is limited, but understand something. Your heart is infinite. So every time you feel anxiety, touch your finger to your heart, and that will bring your point of thought down to your heart. Don't be up here in your mind, because you're just going to run the same bloody programs all the time. The mind is limited, but the heart is infinite. Did you know that the heart puts out off the biggest vibration of all the tissues in the human body? Yeah, they don't even know how far. They think that all of our heart vibrations, we're all connected. So when you have a broken heart, I can feel it. Okay? When you're up, I can feel it. So if we all get up, we can change this thing. We truly can. Okay? So heart first, mind your own business, stay connected to your breath. And let me ask you a question. Who's paying you to destroy yourself right now? And at the end of the day, when you're all exhausted, okay, and you have no energy left, and you go to bed aching and paining, wouldn't it have been great if you knew how to master your emotions? And if you said to yourself, I'm going to protect myself. I am not going to destroy myself for things that are not my business. If we all truly just started forgiving ourselves and going inward and going, you know what? I was created by God Almighty. And you know what? I am the blessing. And I am going to love, honor, protect, and respect myself in every moment. Get a love band, life band. Set your phone every 5 minutes to go off with a ding. See if you're connected to your breath today, the lion heart breathing. See if you have a slight smile on your face, and see if the person who's talking to you, if you're actually there 100%. You know what? I, Daryl Wolfe, promised that no matter what today, I will always be in the present moment so that I show my family, my friends, my workers, and the rest of the world that I can do this and I can be present because you are the present. All right? This morning at 10 a.m., I'm going to be on with Tom Malbauer, and we're going to be talking about microcirculation viruses and what an avicin does. And then Monday, I'm here with Del Bigtree, and he has such explosive information about the coronavirus, what really went down in Europe, what's going down here, and we're going to be unleashing that on Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then we'll be back again Friday, a week from today, to answer all your questions, okay? And I mean all your questions. God bless everybody. And truly, I want you to think about something. Start focusing on your breath all day long. Slow breaths in and out. And then start rewriting your story, okay? Look at, here's the deal. You're the director, you're the producer, and you're the writer, and you are the main star. So you decide, is this going to be a horror today? Is it going to be a thriller today? Is it going to be a love story comedy? I hope so. God bless, and all my best.